Hi everyone, Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio, taking a look at your forecast as we head into your Thursday. Thankfully, it's not going to be nearly as windy today as it was tomorrow, or excuse me, as it was yesterday. I had wind gusts 40, 50, close to 60 miles an hour across the state. Again, it was pretty rough sledding out there with those wind gusts. Thankfully, not nearly as much of an issue today. We're also going to see some cooler temperatures today, but overall I think expecting to see some nice weather as we head into the upcoming weekend, so that is the good news. But it is Thursday. That means we're going to start off with some drought monitor information, and the good news is all the rain that we had on Monday is going to be included in the drought monitor that we had released this morning. And I wanted to start off with a look at our observed and average precipitation so far this year, because you can see really, again, especially the spring and into the summer months, we had decent precipitation here in Lincoln and across much of the state, especially again July had over 7, one of the wettest Julys on record. But then we can see what cratered between those 3 months. We had just a little over 2.5 inches of moisture, and again, for as above average as July was, which was almost 4 inches above average in terms of our rainfall, we were over 5 inches below normal for those 3 months. And so then in November, again, we obviously don't necessarily see much. We average $130 for our moisture in the month of November, and again, so far at 385, our third wettest November on record. If we don't see any more moisture at all for the rest of the month, which again we might see a little, but again, much needed over the course of the last several weeks after a very dry 3-month stretch there in August, September, and October. So again, up to just under 28 inches of observed precipitation so far for the year. Again, the average through the end of November is just a touch over 28 inches. So we'll likely finish November on a yearly basis just a little bit below normal for our precip. But again, it's good news because that 3-month stretch there, we saw drought conditions expand pretty rapidly. This was the drought monitor we had last week. Again, we had a wide area of severe drought, kind of in that darker orange there, covering much of northern into south central and southeastern Nebraska. Some extreme drought creeping into northwestern, northeastern sections of the state. So only the southwestern corner of the state was drought free as of last week. And the good news, again, all the rain we had on Monday is included in this drought monitor that was released this morning, and you can see a good chunk of that severe drought has now receded across the south central and southeastern sections of the state. So again, that is very good news. This is a look at the change map. That's not the change map. This is the change map, again, for the state of Nebraska. And again, you can see that area in green. Those are all indicative of drought getting one class better, or one class of drought improvement. So again, that was us going from severe drought to moderate drought. Again, we weren't going to wipe it away entirely all in one go, but again, certainly a step in the right direction. And even now that we're well above normal for our rainfall for the month of November, doesn't mean we can stop and sit on our surplus. We still need some additional moisture, especially as we head into December as well. Again, likely that's going to be coming in the form of some snowfall at times. But again, still need some of that moisture to continue to eat into some of these drought conditions, and again, still need some moisture across the northern and northwestern sections of the state. So if you look at the drought over time, again, you can see, again, through that August, September, November timeframe when drought really expanded across much of the state. But the last couple of weeks, with, again, some of the moisture that we have seen at least a little bit of reduction in the drought. Now have about 40% of the state under severe drought conditions, just a touch over 36% under moderate drought conditions, again, just a touch over 8% under any extreme drought conditions, and again, just about 6% of the state remains drought-free, and again, those numbers all improving from just a couple of weeks ago. Nationally, again, still watching really 2 or 3 areas, the high plains across parts of the Dakotas, Wyoming, Montana, into western Nebraska, where we have some of that extreme drought. Southwest Texas continues to have some pretty wide areas of exceptional drought down near El Paso, and then up into parts of West Virginia and southeastern Ohio, although those areas have improved slightly, but again, some areas of extreme and exceptional drought in those areas. So again, national drought status, similar to what we've seen in Nebraska over the past couple of weeks. We actually have seen some improvement in those drought conditions. So all good news, or mostly good news, when it comes to our drought monitor this week. So again, hopefully we can keep the good news going. If you look at the Lincoln Weather Almanac, again, these are the numbers from yesterday, 52 and 36. Both of those numbers a little bit above average. I think we're going to be a little bit below average, though, as we head into the day today. Again, no rainfall yesterday, and again, like we already mentioned, up to 385 for the month of November, about a tenth of an inch above average. Snowfall, again, haven't seen our first measurable snow yet, so almost 2 inches now below normal for our snowfall. Again, our average first snowfall here in Lincoln, it comes is November 18th. Is the date of that average first snow here in Lincoln. I just want to double check here. Let's see, snowfall 0.1. And yeah, on average, it's November 18th. Our first average 1 inch snowfall, so 1 inch or more, is December 3rd. So again, we're not too far away from that. So again, keep an eye on the forecast over the next couple weeks, because that'll be coming sooner rather than later. Your weather headlines for today: cooler and breezy out there. Again, not nearly as windy as it was yesterday, but maybe still a touch on the breezy side, especially for our eastern and northeastern parts of the state. The forecast has been trending warmer, though, as we head towards the upcoming weekend, so that is the good news. And then we are looking out potential for some chilly weather, maybe just downright cold weather as we head towards the Thanksgiving holiday next week and into the following weekend. We'll look at that when we look at the long-range forecast here in just a few minutes. Sky views from across the state, mainly sunny skies right now. Again, looking at Lincoln, Grand Island, North Platte, as well as O'Neill. Here in the capital city, again, right now, 32 at the airport, 29 at the studio. Again, still a little bit of that northwest breeze, though. Wind chill this morning at 22. So again, chilly as you step out the door early this morning. Temperatures across the Lincoln Metro generally sitting in the upper 20s to right around 30 degrees on the Tempest weather stations, including 29 here in Lincoln. 32, though, at the airports, 28 in Grand Island, 26 in North Platte, 24 in O'Neill, and the cold spot right now is Shattering. It is 18 degrees right now out there in northwestern Nebraska. Winds still a little bit on the strong side, especially for the eastern half of the state, out of the north and west at about 10 to 20 miles an hour, lighter as you head across the western sections of the state, and still have some wind gusts up to around 20 to 25 miles an hour. I think as we head through the day today, we'll continue to watch for some of those wind gusts up to around 20 to 25, maybe up to 30 miles an hour at times, and mainly that'll be in the eastern half of the state. Satellite and radar picture is quiet. Again, if you look at the visible satellite imagery, there's not a whole lot going on right now. That's not the visible satellite imagery. My buttons are all messed up here. Not sure what's going on. Let's see if I can find my visible satellite imagery. I don't know where it went. Let's see. There it is. There's your visible satellite imagery. You can see clear skies. There's just a few clouds kind of here and there. Otherwise, things are pretty quiet when it comes to any cloud cover. We zoom out and look at a regional view. Have some snow across the Great Lakes, parts of southeastern Wisconsin. Also have some rain and snow showers as you head off to our north and to our west, across parts of Oregon and Idaho. You zoom out and look at a national view. Still have that low-pressure system that brought us our rain on Monday, still slowly spinning its way again across the Great Lakes region, bringing some of those rain and snow showers to the Great Lakes and then into the New England area. But overall, things are generally speaking fairly quiet. Again, Seattle, Pacific Northwest got hit by a pretty big storm over the last day or so. A bomb cyclone, again, just means a rapidly intensifying low-pressure system, more than 24 millibars over the course of 24 hours. Weather alerts, again, we have some here and there. There's, again, some winter alerts, winter weather advisories across parts of Montana. Also have some of those across parts of Indiana, Kentucky, into West Virginia, and then up towards Pennsylvania and New York. Wind advisories in place for Chicago into southern Wisconsin, extreme eastern Iowa. Some freeze alerts across the Carolinas. So again, overall, though, things are generally speaking, fairly quiet across much of the country. If we check out Skycast as we head through the day today, other than the breeze, not a whole lot to look for. I think we're going to see mainly sunny skies across the state, maybe a passing cloud here or there. As we head tonight into the day on your Friday, expecting a little bit more cloud cover. I think we'll still call it mostly sunny, but I think a few more clouds as we head through the day on Friday, but dry. And again, should lose the breeze as that wind swings around more to the south at around 5 to 15 miles an hour. And then Friday into Saturday, I think even more cloud cover heads our way, so we'll call it partly cloudy into the upcoming weekend, but those southerly winds will help bring those temperatures back up, and we should stay dry as we start the weekend. In fact, we look at the 7-day precipitation potential. Not a whole lot, looking at fairly light precipitation possible over the course of the next week, and most of this wouldn't be coming until we head into the week next week. So again, through the weekend, it looks like we're going to see generally dry conditions. And again, right now, at least over the course of the next week, no big storm systems looming on the horizon. Highs today are going to be cooler in the east, where it's going to be upper 30s and low 40s, including 43 in Lincoln, 45 in Grand Island, but warmer as you head to the west. Low 50s for North Platte, upper 50s for Scottsbluff. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they touch 60 degrees this afternoon. Lows tonight, it will be chilly. You might want to throw an extra blanket on the bed. We'll see low temperatures down to the low 20s tonight. So again, wind chills early tomorrow morning could be down to the teens for many locations. Highs on Friday do warm back up for the eastern half of the state, mid-upper 40s to low 50s, and then upper 50s and low 60s across the western third of the state by Friday afternoon. Lows into Saturday morning, fairly seasonal, mid-upper 20s for most, and then on Saturday, a nice start to the weekend as temperatures generally sit from the low 50s to the low 60s across the state. Here in Lincoln, we're going to go for 55 degrees, 56 in Grand Island, 58 in North Platte. Sunday morning, even warmer. We'll see lows above average in the low to mid 30s, and then Sunday afternoon, cold air begins to arrive across the northern part of the state. They'll see highs on Sunday in the upper 30s to low 40s for areas like O'Neill, Ainsworth, Valentine, Chadron, but much of southern Nebraska still looking at temperatures into the 50s, maybe even into the low 60s in the far southeastern corner of the state for the day on Sunday. So you check out the extended forecast, again, dry as we head today and through the weekend, and then we start to see those chances for moisture pick back up as we head towards the middle part of the week next week, but you'll also notice the temperatures go down. We go from 56 on Sunday down into the upper 30s for highs on Monday, then low 40s Tuesday, Wednesday, Thanksgiving Day on Thursday. As we look at that 10-day forecast for select cities across the state, looks like temperatures ranging anywhere from the low 30s to the low 40s for Thanksgiving Day. And then again, Black Friday, looks like we could see high temperatures Black Friday and Saturday, but we could see temperatures in the 20s and 30s, low 30s for high temperatures for the day for next week. So again, some colder weather looming in the forecast, especially as we head towards the second half of the week next week and into the following weekend. Again, obviously, that's still a ways away, so the forecast could still change. And again, we could see things trend a little bit warmer, kind of like what we've been seeing with the weekend. So again, obviously you want to make sure you stay tuned. But again, I know a lot of folks are going to be keeping an eye on that forecast for the second half of the week, next week for Thanksgiving, and then into the following weekend. If you look at the precip chances over the course of the next 10 days, again, generally dry through the weekend into early next week, but then potentially maybe turning a little bit more active as we head towards the middle part of the week next week and towards the Thanksgiving holiday. Right now, some low-end chances for moisture in the forecast, and we'll obviously keep an eye on those to see if they continue to climb. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. This takes us November 28th through December 4th, and right now for much of the region, it favors, according to the Climate Prediction Center, below normal temperatures across the area. So again, that goes in line with those 20s and 30s we're seeing late next week and into the following weekend. Precipitation outlook, again, for the western half of the state, would favor above average precip. For the eastern half of the state, no clear signals, equal chances for both above and below average precipitation. But again, like I mentioned, no clear signals, no clear signs, at least right now, of any big storm systems heading our way over the course of the next week to 10 days. So we'll continue to keep an eye on it, keep an eye on that Thanksgiving forecast next week for you as well, and let you know what changes as that gets closer. But again, pretty quiet weather expected for us today and really over the next several days, but it does look like some fairly nice weather heads our way for the upcoming weekend. So appreciate everyone for tuning in, for watching as always. Keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, for all of your latest. And until next time, I hope everyone has a nice Thursday.